Welcome back, everybody. This is Scandal. This is episode 2 of Carry Yourself Out of Bronze using the champion Thresh. Thresh is one of my favorite sports to play. May not be the best at him, and I do, in fact, in this video, miss quite a few hooks, but his ability to engage the enemy, disengage enemies off of your ADC or off of yourself or your other teammates, uh, allows him to be one of the top tier supports in this game at this point. We're going to jump right into his abilities here. His passive is Damnation. Thresh can harvest the soul of enemies that die near him, permanently granting him armor and ability power. So basically, whenever your ADC or you happen to kill a minion or creep or a champion, there's a chance that a little orb will drop down and there's souls, and the souls will come into you, and there'll be a stacking amount above your action bar that tells you how many souls you've collected and tells you how much AP and armor you've actually gained. Works really well, especially if you get lucky enough to get quite a few stacks early on. It makes you pretty tanky later on in the game. So his Q is Death Sentence. Thresh binds an enemy in chains and pulls him toward him. Activating this ability a second time pulls Thresh to an enemy. This ability is almost always known as hook. So great hook, landed hook, god Thresh hooks, this, that, and the other. You'll hear me call it a hook in the game because Death Sentence is just too much to say, and hook is just an amazing word to use. Basically, with this ability, you'll throw out your Q and you'll actually try to hook the enemy or Dragon Baron, whatnot, whatever you need to either initiate the fight, or you can actually use it to disengage a fight if you're in the jungle, you're about to die. You can actually hook neutral monsters that are in the jungle, and then Q again to jump to that monster, and you can get away out of the jungle that way. It's a great ability for both offensive and defensive. His W is Dark Passage. Thresh throws out a lantern that shields nearby allied champions from damage, and allies can click the lantern to dash to Thresh. This is also a very good ability. You can combine it with your flash to allow you to either get your ADC further into the fight or further out of the fight, depending on the certain situations. So basically, you throw out the lantern, you get as far away as possible. The moment someone clicks your lantern, you can flash and you can actually go a greater distance and pull them a greater distance as well. So it also shields and gives a little bit of armor, so it's great. It's a great ability to use at Dragon if you're trying to help your champions take it down. Give your people a little bit more armor and protection while they're taking that. Move on to the E, which is Flay. This is the ability that I definitely max first. Let me go and explain it. Thresh's attack winds up, dealing more damage the longer he waits between attacks. When activated, Thresh sweeps his chain, knocking all enemies hit in the direction of the blow. So basically, this ability is used for different ways. Early on in the lane, and you'll see me use it as well, it's used for poke. Your auto attacks actually do more damage the longer you wait. You'll see that there's like a little green hook or green sickle above your action bar, and then it turns yellow, and then it turns red. That's the amount of damage that you're going to do with your auto attack next. This is why most people take Flay first. It's not because, oh, we think the champion's going to jump on our ADC or we're going to need it out. Do it for the poke ability of this at rank 1. And then to actually use the ability, if you watch the way that you're facing and you hover over it, you can see the arrows that point what direction you're going to actually play. So basically what you want to do whenever you combo this is you want to be able to throw a hook out, and then you want to walk back a little bit because he actually pulls the person towards him, and this allows you to pull him further away from where he's trying to get to. Then you want to Q again, and you'll jump into him, because that's what hook does. And then you want to try to position yourself behind him a little bit so that whenever you flay, you actually push him further into your teammates. And what I see a lot of people do is they'll hook and jump in, and then they'll just flay immediately, and they'll flay the person actually backwards, and they are able to actually get away from that. So I think I actually do that a couple times in this fight as well. So we're going to move over to the box. A Prison of Walls, it slows and deals damage if broken. This is Thresh's ultimate. I actually try to get it off a couple times in this video later on, and it's not the greatest positioning, or one time I believe that it just didn't go off whenever I wanted it to, and then when it finally did, the fight was over. But this is another amazing ability. You want to try to hook somebody or something and get into position where you can either surround the enemy team at least 2 or 3 people with it, or kind of throw the box behind them, because whenever they walk through your box, through one of the walls, it actually slows them immensely. Um, but there are ways to avoid this. If you actually hook, a tank or something like that inside of this, they can break a wall, and then their ADC or whoever else can walk out of that same wall without being slowed because the wall's already been. Alright, so as far as my Brahms, Thresh, Leonas, my tanky supports, I tend to go a little bit different than what most people go with. I'll go ahead and show you what I have here. I have greater quintessences of armor, so I have 3 of those, and then I move to 9 greater glyphs of magic resist, do 3 greater seals of mana, 6 greater seals of health, and then I go with 9 greater marks of armor. You can obviously change this to whatever you want. I personally just like to be a little bit tanky when I play these kind of champions, so this is what I use. Okay, so even though I run tankier runes as far as masteries go, I still run a 0921 mastery page. I take 2 in block, 2 in recovery, 1 in unyielding, 3 in veteran scars, and 1 in juggernaut. And over in the support tier, I take 1 in phase walker, 2 out of 3 in fleet of foot, 3 in meditation, 3 in summoner's insight, 1 in alchemist, 1 in culinary master, 3 in greed, 1 in scavenger, 1 in wealth, 1 out of the 2 in inspiration, 3 out of 3 in intelligence, and 1 into wanderer. Jumping right into a game here, we see myself and Graves bot lane, Lux mid, Cho'Gath top, and a Pantheon jungle against their Renekton top, Warwick jungle, Annie mid, Sona and Ezreal bot lane. Now, here at the start, I always like to show this. I have my tanky runes, and the reason I run tanky runes is it allows me to run Ancient Coin over Relic Shield. Also, whenever I first started playing Thresh, Relic Shield didn't seem like it procced whenever I would last hit, so I just got used to using Ancient Coin. I personally also like it because I'm already tanky, so building that into the speed boost active is really nice. So that's why I take that over a Relic Shield. Again, I will start Flay. I like to wait and see if they actually come in and try to do anything and see if I need to actually start with my Q, but I will start with Flay and work that way. Also at the start you see that I do not take vision, mainly just because I'm used to rushing Sightstone right off the bat, so our 2 wards should be good enough for us to not get ganked and allow me to get my 800 gold for Sightstone. After Sightstone I usually rush the mobility boots, again because I like being able to be mobile on Thresh and being able to get those hooks in whenever they need to and be able to rotate lanes quickly and effectively. Here again you see that we are leashing from the other side of the wall. Like I said, I like to do this because it allows me to get a straight shot in the lane. I'm just used to doing it from an ADC standpoint, so this allows me to get there and get into lane and help out. Okay, so in lane we notice that these 2 want to play aggressively, but they're not the best at being aggressive. The Ezreal's not too bad at it, but this Sona doesn't understand the poke scheme of Sona and doesn't understand how not to take the poke from Thresh and Graves with the amount of damage that Graves puts out. He's a very strong ADC just because his damage output is ridiculous, plus his passive allows him to have armor and MR as long as he stays in combat, so usually gets a good amount here. So here we see Sona come around the bush, we have vision in it, she's out of minions, so I land a good hook, and I just pull her. I don't even Q into it because I don't want to take the damage from Ezreal, and Graves is able to secure a kill here early. And then we don't see her for a long time. We ping and say she's missing, she's MIA. Apparently she DC'd or something. I'm not sure if she just got frustrated or what. It might actually explain why she was so open to that easy kill there and that easy hook, so she might have DC'd when coming around the bush. Who knows? Either way, there was no way for me to know, so it wasn't exactly bad manners to take advantage of that. So now, I mean, we're just pretty much CSing here. Sona's nowhere to be found. We're assuming she DC'd again. Nothing really important happens here. we're pushing this wave in, and we probably shouldn't have to. We are zoning the Ezreal fairly well, so it's keeping him from getting any CS. We probably should have let the lane push back, but I'm not the ADC, so I can't really let the wave push back. That's really up to the ADC. I can tell him to push it back or let it fall back as much as possible, but it's up to him to actually do it. I put a vision in Tribush because we are, or just a regular stealth ward in Tribush because we are pushed in so far. I don't want to get ganked by the Warwick, so that's why we do that. We try to land a hook here, and then we just back and buy. I get my Sightstone and a vision ward, as well as a sweeping lens. I don't buy boots right off the bat because I didn't have enough gold after buying the vision ward, so that's why I just bought a fairy trinket just to give me some mana regen, and it's going to be part of my support item anyway. So I just want to quickly apologize. The video here gets a little bit choppy. I'm not sure what happened, but I will attempt to try to get it fixed. After we push in this turret a little bit, we realize nobody's around. I want to get vision in the bush and river just in case Warwick is there. And peekaboo, there is an Annie. She gets just demolished. The stun from Pantheon allows me to land an actual good hook there. So throw my lantern, try to land a hook on Ezreal, but he's not going to even be able to do anything because he already ulted. So we're able to take Dragon. He actually ults there at the end, but no big deal. We kind of just defend this a little bit. So no big deal that happened there. It's just kind of funny that we were able to catch that Annie there. After we take this dragon and nothing really happens, there's not a whole lot of action that goes on here. There's not really much to point out here except the warding of a support. When I get back into lane, you'll see that I ward the enemy's bot jungle deeply because that allows us to see where the Warwick's at. When I try to get most of the camps right here. This is also a very good strat against Evelynn, because Evelynn is invis, she goes stealth after she's not in combat for a little while. So if you can get her camps, you can see when and where she's coming from, and you're able to be prepared for whenever she does gank because you know where she's, what camp she just left. This is a good time to point out how not to panic whenever you see yourself getting caught. Graves is a little bit low. He probably should have backed here, but I saw the heal come off Sona, and I should have known that Ezreal was taking the heal. He pops out of the bush. The video lags there, so I apologize for that. I try to back, and he ults to try to kill Graves, but all it does is actually stop me from backing. So I try to back again, and then I see him come in, and I'm not sure what Ezreal was thinking. He eased into the turret, so I'm able to flay him against the wall, and the turret kills him. Sona takes some damage after that, and I'm able to just auto attack. The turret does most of the damage, and I pull off a double kill. So I just wanted to kind of show this, not so much to show off, but to let you know that you shouldn't always panic just because they dive a turret. It also shows the abilities of flaying your enemies into the correct direction in order to land a kill. Nothing really important happens here. I grab the rest of my support item. I am going to slow it down here in just a little bit to show you the speed boost and why I use it. I actually give Graves a speed boost to come in on this kill. Pantheon says he's going to ult down, but he actually doesn't. We still managed to get a kill here, so let me go ahead and slow it down. So we clear the minion waves here. I go into this bush, and I'm waiting. Graves is in sight. I'm able to use my speed boost and get in here. I take a Sona ult. So immediately after that ult's over, though, I'm able to flash. They see Pantheon come in, he gets a stun, and they end up actually killing Sona. And I didn't really do a whole lot there except for use the speed boost to help Graves secure that kill by giving him a little bit of extra movement speed. That's it for me, guys. I hope that this helped out in the least bit. Feel free to watch the end of this video. It's just us finishing up the game. If you have any questions or something you didn't see or something you would like to see, please feel free to leave them in the comments. If you want to see a champion or certain lanes played, feel free to leave those in the comments as well, and I will get to that as soon as possible. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it helped out a little bit. Please help me out by liking, subscribing, sharing this with anybody else. It would be greatly appreciated. I will see you all next time. Enjoy.
Buzz Lightyear. Buzz Lightyear. Buzz Lightyear. Buzz Lightyear.